The Manhwa, humanity's strongest mage, Reborns, as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, represents a fascinating convergence of several popular narrative tropes within the Korean Webtoon landscape. This work exemplifies the sophisticated evolution of the reincarnation fantasy genre, combining elements of academic life, magical progression, and profound character development into a cohesive narrative that resonates deeply with contemporary audiences. The title itself serves as a comprehensive summary of the story's central premise, immediately establishing expectations for readers familiar with the genre while promising a unique twist on established conventions. The concept of rebirth or reincarnation has deep cultural roots in East Asian storytelling traditions, but this particular work elevates the trope through its integration with modern educational frameworks and tower climbing narratives that have become increasingly popular in recent years. Within the broader context of manhwa literature, this story occupies a significant position as it bridges multiple subgenres effectively. The academic setting provides structure and familiar social dynamics, while the tower element introduces vertical progression mechanics that appeal to readers of dungeon crawling and leveling narratives. The protagonist's status as both the strongest mage in his previous life and a prodigy in his current incarnation creates immediate narrative tension between expectation and reality, between past achievements and present potential. The manhwa medium itself offers unique advantages for this type of storytelling. The vertical scroll format, characteristic of webtoons, naturally complements the tower climbing metaphor that permeates both the literal and metaphorical aspects of the narrative. Each panel can represent another step upward, another floor conquered, another level of understanding achieved. This visual metaphor enhances the reading experience in ways that traditional print manga or light novels cannot replicate as effectively. The genre conventions at play include the isekai or reincarnation fantasy, the magical academy subgenre, tower climbing adventures, and power progression narratives. Each of these elements has evolved significantly within Korean popular culture, influenced by gaming culture, educational pressures, and societal expectations for continuous improvement and achievement. The combination creates a narrative that speaks to multiple demographic groups while maintaining coherent thematic unity. The cultural significance of this work extends beyond entertainment value. It reflects contemporary anxieties about education, achievement, second chances, and the burden of exceptional ability. The protagonist's journey from ultimate power to starting over resonates with readers who may feel overwhelmed by expectations or who dream of applying their accumulated wisdom and experience to new challenges with the benefit of hindsight. Modern manhwa has distinguished itself from Japanese manga through its embrace of digital-first storytelling, full-color artwork, and narratives that often reflect uniquely Korean cultural perspectives. This particular work exemplifies these distinctions while participating in the global conversation about fantasy literature, educational systems, and personal growth. The Tower Academy setting serves as both a literal educational institution and a metaphorical representation of societal hierarchies that students must navigate and ultimately transcend. The genre's appeal lies partly in its wish fulfillment aspects, but sophisticated works like this one elevate the fantasy through genuine character development and meaningful exploration of themes like mentorship, friendship, rivalry, and the responsibility that comes with great power. The protagonist's previous life as humanity's strongest mage provides context for his current abilities while creating opportunities for dramatic irony and character growth that wouldn't be possible in a straightforward progression narrative. 2. Story premise and plot analysis. The fundamental premise of humanity's strongest mage, Reborns, as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, centers on the reincarnation of an individual who achieved the pinnacle of magical power in his previous existence, only to find himself reborn into a world where he must navigate the structured environment of a magical academy while concealing his true nature and abilities. This creates multiple layers of narrative complexity that drive both plot advancement and character development throughout the series. The opening arc typically establishes the protagonist's previous life and the circumstances leading to his death or transition. This backstory serves crucial functions beyond mere exposition. It establishes the emotional stakes of his new existence, demonstrates the scope of his former abilities, and creates the foundation for future plot revelations. The Strongest Mage's previous life likely involved significant sacrifice, possibly including the loss of companions, loved ones, or even his own life in service to humanity's survival against some existential threat. The transition to his new life introduces immediate conflicts between his vast accumulated knowledge and experience versus his current physical limitations and social position. As a new student at the Tower Academy, he must navigate the complex social hierarchies and academic systems while carefully managing the revelation of his true capabilities. This creates natural tension as readers anticipate moments when his restraint might slip, or when circumstances force him to reveal more than intended. The Tower Academy itself serves as both setting and character within the narrative structure. Its vertical architecture mirrors the protagonist's journey from his current position toward recovering and eventually surpassing his former abilities. Each floor of the tower likely represents different levels of magical education with ascending difficulty and prestige. This structure provides clear progression markers for both the protagonist and readers, creating anticipation for advancement while establishing concrete goals and obstacles. Early plot development focuses on establishing the protagonist's relationships with fellow students, instructors, and academy administration. These relationships serve multiple narrative functions. They provide opportunities for character growth, create potential allies and rivals, establish emotional stakes beyond mere power progression, and offer venues for the protagonist to demonstrate his unique perspective and abilities in subtle ways. The Academy's curriculum and examination systems create natural plot rhythms through scheduled challenges, competitions, and evaluations. These structured events allow for regular demonstration of growth while maintaining narrative tension through the protagonist's need to excel without revealing his true nature. The academic framework also enables exploration of different magical disciplines, theoretical knowledge, and practical applications that showcase the depth of the magical system. Subplot development typically involves uncovering mysteries within the Academy itself, discovering connections between his previous life and current circumstances, and gradually revealing larger threats that may require his eventual intervention. The Tower's history, the Academy's founding principles, and the broader magical society structure all contribute to an expanding web of interconnected plot elements that reward careful attention and speculation. Character relationships evolve through shared challenges, mutual support during difficult trials, and gradual revelation of personal histories and motivations. The protagonist's relationships likely include a diverse cast, representing different approaches to magic, varying social backgrounds, and contrasting personalities that highlight different aspects of his own character development. Mid-series plot development typically escalates both personal stakes and external threats. As the protagonist advances through the Academy's levels, he encounters increasingly sophisticated challenges that test not only his magical abilities, but also his judgment, leadership skills, and commitment to his new life and relationships. These challenges often force difficult choices between maintaining his cover and protecting others. The overarching plot structure builds toward revelations about the connection between his previous life's ultimate sacrifice and current circumstances, whether his reincarnation was planned, accidental, or the result of unfinished business. These revelations recontextualize earlier events and set up larger conflicts that extend beyond the Academy's walls. The resolution of these mysteries drives character growth and plot advancement while maintaining the series' central themes. Advanced plot development introduces threats that justify the protagonist's eventual full revelation of his abilities, creating climactic moments that reward reader investment in his journey while setting up new challenges for future development. The integration of his past life's knowledge with his current relationships and responsibilities creates unique solutions to problems that couldn't be resolved through power alone. 3. Character development and archetypes. The protagonist of humanity's Strongest Mage, Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, embodies a complex character archetype that transcends simple power fantasy tropes through sophisticated psychological development and nuanced personality traits. His character represents the convergence of the wise mentor and the promising student, creating internal conflicts and growth opportunities that drive narrative engagement throughout the series. At his core, the protagonist carries the weight of his previous life's experiences, achievements, and likely tragedies. This emotional baggage manifests in various ways throughout his academic journey, from his approach to magical studies to his interactions with fellow students who remind him of past companions. His character development involves learning to balance his vast knowledge and experience with the need to form genuine relationships in his current life, rather than viewing others through the lens of his past experiences. The mentor archetype within his character emerges through his interactions with struggling classmates, his innovative approaches to magical problems, and his ability to see beyond immediate challenges to underlying principles and long-term consequences. However, his position as a student requires him to express this wisdom subtly, creating opportunities for creative problem-solving and indirect guidance that showcases his growth as both a magical practitioner and a social being. Supporting characters within the academy setting represent various archetypal roles that facilitate different aspects of the protagonist's development. The rival character typically embodies natural talent, competitive drive, and perhaps noble heritage that contrasts with the protagonist's hidden nature. This relationship explores themes of earned versus inherited ability, the value of hard work versus natural gifts, and the complexity of friendship between individuals with seemingly different advantages. The mentor figures among the academy faculty serve crucial roles in the protagonist's development, offering both magical instruction and life guidance while remaining unaware of his true nature. These relationships allow exploration of what it means to be both student and teacher simultaneously, as the protagonist learns new perspectives on familiar magical principles while potentially offering insights that surprise even experienced instructors. Female characters within the narrative often represent different approaches to magic and life philosophy, creating opportunities for romantic development while avoiding the trap of making relationships purely subordinate to power dynamics. Whether they serve as study partners, rivals, or romantic interest, these characters possess their own goals, abilities, and character arcs that intersect meaningfully with the protagonist's journey. The comic relief characters, often fellow students from diverse backgrounds, provide necessary levity while also serving as representatives of normal student experiences that ground the fantastic elements in relatable emotions and situations. Their perspectives help readers connect with the academy environment while highlighting the protagonist's unique position through contrast. Antagonistic characters within the academy setting create conflicts that test different aspects of the protagonist's character development. Whether they represent institutional corruption, misguided but well-intentioned authority figures, or students whose ambitions conflict with the protagonist's goals, these characters force growth through adversity while avoiding simple good versus evil dynamics. The character development throughout the series focuses on the protagonist's gradual integration of his past and present identities into a cohesive whole that honors his previous life's sacrifices while embracing his current opportunities for growth and connection. This process involves learning to trust others with increasingly significant responsibilities and personal revelations, moving beyond the isolation that his unique position initially creates. Supporting character development runs parallel to the protagonist's growth, with classmates, instructors, and rivals evolving through their interactions with him and their shared experiences within the academy. This ensemble development creates a rich social environment where individual growth supports collective advancement, reflecting the educational setting's collaborative aspects despite its competitive elements. The psychological depth of character development explores themes of identity, purpose, and responsibility through the lens of magical education and personal relationships. Characters grapple with questions of whether their worth comes from their abilities, their achievements, their relationships, or some combination of factors, creating philosophical discussions that elevate the narrative beyond simple action and adventure. Advanced character development reveals how the protagonist's influence extends beyond direct interaction, inspiring others to pursue their own growth and development while learning from their perspectives and approaches. This mutual influence creates dynamic character relationships that evolve throughout the series, maintaining reader interest through genuine emotional investment in character outcomes. Fourth, world building and magic systems. The magical world of humanity's strongest mage, Reborns, as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, presents a sophisticated system that balances complexity with accessibility, creating a framework that supports both intimate character development and epic narrative scope. The magic system serves as more than mere plot device. It functions as a lens through which to explore themes of learning, growth, responsibility, and the relationship between knowledge and wisdom. The fundamental structure of magic in this world likely operates on multiple interconnected levels, from basic elemental manipulation to advanced theoretical applications that blur the lines between science and supernatural ability. The protagonist's previous mastery of these systems provides opportunities to demonstrate both the breadth and depth of magical possibility, while establishing clear progression paths for other characters to follow. The Tower Academy's role as an educational institution requires a systematic approach to magical instruction that can accommodate students with varying levels of natural ability, prior knowledge, and learning styles. This necessitates a magic system with clear foundational principles, measurable advancement criteria, and specialized applications that allow for diverse career paths and personal interests among the student body. Elemental magic systems form the foundation of most students' education, providing concrete, observable phenomena that can be practiced, refined, and evaluated systematically. The protagonist's advanced understanding of elemental interactions likely extends beyond simple manipulation to comprehension of underlying forces, energy conservation principles, and environmental implications that inform his unique approach to magical education. The theoretical framework supporting practical magic applications creates opportunities for academic exploration that goes beyond mere spellcasting ability. Magical theory encompasses historical precedents, philosophical implications, ethical considerations, and innovative applications that reflect the intellectual rigor expected within an advanced educational institution. Specialized magical disciplines within the Academy's curriculum allow for character differentiation and plot development through focused expertise areas. Whether characters specialize in combat magic, healing arts, enchantment, summoning, or esoteric research, these specializations create natural opportunities for collaboration, competition, and mutual learning that drive both individual and collective character development. The magic system's connection to physical and emotional health adds depth to character development, while providing natural limitations and consequences for magical overuse or misapplication. The protagonist's mature understanding of these connections influences his approach to magical education and his guidance of fellow students who may be tempted to push beyond safe limits in pursuit of rapid advancement. Magical artifacts, tools, and resources within the Academy environment create additional layers of world-building complexity while supporting plot development through their acquisition, use, and potential misuse. The protagonist's knowledge of advanced magical items from his previous life creates opportunities for innovation and problem-solving while maintaining respect for the Academy's educational objectives. The broader magical society beyond the Academy walls establishes context for the institution's role in training future magical practitioners while hinting at larger conflicts, opportunities, and responsibilities that await graduates. This external world provides motivation for academic achievement while establishing stakes that extend beyond personal advancement or institutional recognition. Magical creatures and beings within the world serve various functions, from academic subjects to potential allies or threats, creating opportunities for biological and ecological exploration alongside magical theory. The protagonist's previous encounters with such beings inform his current studies while providing unique insights that benefit his classmates and instructors. The historical development of magical knowledge and institutions creates a rich backdrop for understanding current practices, ongoing debates, and future possibilities within the magical community. The protagonist's perspective spans this historical development, allowing for insights into cyclical patterns, forgotten knowledge, and potential innovations that could reshape magical society. Advanced magical applications that extend beyond individual ability to collaborative efforts, large-scale projects, and societal transformation establish the ultimate potential and responsibility associated with magical mastery. These applications provide long-term goals for character development while establishing the stakes associated with the protagonist's eventual revelation of his true abilities and knowledge. 5. Tower Academy structure and significance. The Tower Academy serves as far more than a simple educational setting within the narrative framework. It functions as a physical manifestation of vertical progression, social hierarchy, intellectual advancement, and spiritual growth that mirrors the protagonist's internal journey from his current position toward the recovery and transcendence of his former abilities. The Academy's structure embodies the story's central themes while providing concrete goals and measurable progress indicators that maintain narrative momentum. The vertical architecture of the tower creates immediate visual and conceptual associations with climbing, advancement, and achievement that resonate deeply with readers familiar with gaming progression mechanics and educational advancement systems. Each floor represents not merely a physical location, but a threshold of knowledge, ability, and social recognition that students must earn through demonstrated competence and personal growth. The lower floors of the Academy typically house foundational courses, introductory magical theory, and basic practical applications that serve all students regardless of their eventual specialization. These levels establish the common knowledge base that enables communication and collaboration between students from diverse backgrounds, while ensuring safety standards for more advanced magical practices encountered on higher floors. The admission and evaluation systems that govern access to higher floors create natural plot rhythms through regular testing, evaluation periods, and advancement opportunities that provide clear short-term goals while building toward longer-term character development objectives. These systems also create opportunities for dramatic tension as characters face the possibility of advancement, stagnation, or even demotion based on their performance and choices. The faculty distribution throughout the tower's levels reflects both the specialization required for advanced magical education and the hierarchical structure that governs academic institutions. Lower floor instructors focus on foundational education and student support, while higher floor faculty engage in advanced research, specialized instruction, and institutional governance that shapes the Academy's direction and policies. The social dynamics created by the tower's structure influence student relationships, creating natural divisions between floor levels, while also providing motivation for advancement and opportunities for mentorship between students at different stages of their education. These dynamics reflect real-world educational and professional hierarchies, while avoiding simplistic portrayals of competition and cooperation. Specialized facilities throughout the tower support different aspects of magical education, from basic practice rooms and libraries on lower floors to advanced laboratories, summoning chambers, and research facilities on upper levels. The protagonist's familiarity with advanced magical applications allows him to appreciate these facilities' potential while maintaining appropriate restraint in their use. The Academy's governance structure, incorporating both faculty leadership and student representation, creates opportunities for political intrigue and institutional development that extend beyond individual character growth to collective advancement and institutional evolution. The protagonist's mature perspective on leadership and governance influences his participation in these systems while avoiding the assumption of inappropriate authority. The tower's defensive systems and security measures reflect both the valuable knowledge and dangerous practices housed within its walls, creating plot opportunities through their activation, circumvention, or failure, while establishing the serious consequences associated with magical misuse or external threats to the institution. The historical significance of the tower within the broader magical community establishes its reputation, influence, and connections to external organizations, governments, and magical societies that provide context for graduates' future opportunities and responsibilities. The protagonist's awareness of these connections from his previous life influences his approach to academy politics and relationship building. The Academy's research missions and institutional objectives extend beyond mere education to active contribution to magical knowledge, societal development, and responses to external threats that may require the combined efforts of faculty and advanced students. These missions provide opportunities for meaningful contribution that goes beyond academic achievement to real-world impact and responsibility. The Tower's symbolic significance as a bridge between earthbound existence and higher aspirations reflects the spiritual and philosophical dimensions of magical education that transcend mere technical training to encompass personal transformation, ethical development, and the cultivation of wisdom alongside power. This symbolism enriches the narrative's thematic depth while providing metaphorical frameworks for character development. 6. Themes of rebirth, redemption, and growth. The central theme of rebirth within humanity's Strongest Mage, Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, operates on multiple interconnected levels, from the literal reincarnation of the protagonist to the metaphorical rebirth that occurs through education, relationship formation, and personal development. This multi-layered approach to rebirth creates rich thematic resonance that extends beyond simple wish fulfillment fantasy to explore profound questions about identity, purpose, and the nature of personal growth. The protagonist's literal rebirth provides the narrative foundation, but the story's deeper exploration of rebirth themes emerges through his gradual transformation from an isolated individual carrying the weight of his previous life's experiences to someone capable of forming genuine relationships and finding new purpose within his current circumstances. This transformation requires him to release attachment to his former identity while integrating valuable wisdom and experience into his new existence. Redemption themes manifest through the protagonist's opportunity to address failures, regrets, or incomplete objectives from his previous life through actions taken in his current existence. Whether these involve relationships he failed to nurture, knowledge he failed to share, or responsibilities he was unable to fulfill, his current life provides opportunities for redemption that go beyond simple do-overs to require genuine growth and changed approaches. The redemption arc extends beyond personal satisfaction to encompass his impact on others within the Academy community. Through mentorship, friendship, and example, he helps fellow students avoid pitfalls he may have encountered in his previous life, while supporting their individual growth and development in ways that honor both his accumulated wisdom and their unique potential. Growth themes permeate every aspect of the narrative, from the obvious magical and academic advancement that drives plot progression to the subtle emotional and psychological development that occurs through relationship formation and social integration. The protagonist's growth involves learning to balance his exceptional abilities with humility, his vast knowledge with openness to new perspectives, and his natural leadership tendencies with respect for others' autonomy and authority. The parallel growth of supporting characters creates a rich environment where individual development supports collective advancement, reflecting the collaborative aspects of education, while maintaining recognition of personal responsibility and effort. Each character's growth arc intersects meaningfully with others, creating a web of mutual influence and support that enriches the overall narrative tapestry. The institutional growth of the Tower Academy itself serves as a backdrop for character development while exploring themes related to tradition versus innovation, established authority versus emerging leadership, and the balance between stability and necessary change. The protagonist's influence on institutional development reflects his maturation from someone who works within systems to someone who can help improve them. Spiritual growth themes emerge through the protagonist's relationship with magical practice, moving beyond mere technical proficiency to encompass ethical considerations, philosophical understanding, and the cultivation of wisdom alongside power. This spiritual dimension elevates the narrative beyond simple progression mechanics to explore questions of purpose, responsibility, and the relationship between individual ability and collective good. The cyclical nature of growth, rebirth, and redemption creates ongoing opportunities for character development that extend beyond simple linear progression to encompass setbacks, reconsiderations, and renewed commitment to growth that reflects realistic psychological development. Characters experience growth spurts, plateaus, and even temporary regression that makes their development feel authentic and relatable. The integration of personal growth with magical advancement creates a system where character development directly influences plot progression, ensuring that emotional and psychological growth remains central to the narrative rather than being overshadowed by external action and adventure. This integration maintains reader investment in character outcomes while supporting the story's thematic coherence. The exploration of growth as a continuous process rather than a destination reflects mature understanding of personal development that resonates with readers beyond the fantasy context. Characters learn that growth involves ongoing effort, regular self-evaluation, and willingness to change approaches when circumstances require adaptation, creating themes that extend beyond the fictional setting to practical life application. 7. Cultural significance in Manhwa. Webtoon medium. The cultural significance of humanity's strongest mage, Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, within the Manhwa and Webtoon medium extends far beyond entertainment value to reflect and influence contemporary Korean cultural attitudes toward education, achievement, social mobility, and personal transformation. The story's resonance with readers stems partly from its ability to address real-world anxieties and aspirations through fantastical metaphors that provide both escapism and meaningful commentary on modern social dynamics. The Korean educational system's emphasis on competitive advancement, standardized testing, and institutional hierarchy finds clear reflection in the Tower Academy's structure and advancement mechanisms. The protagonist's journey through the Academy's levels mirrors the real-world experience of students navigating Korea's highly competitive educational environment while suggesting possibilities for transcending systemic limitations through exceptional effort, unique perspectives, and collaborative relationships. The cultural value placed on continuous self-improvement and skill development resonates strongly with the protagonist's approach to magical education, where his previous life's knowledge provides advantages that must still be applied through current effort and adaptation to new circumstances. This balance between inherited advantages and earned achievements reflects contemporary discussions about privilege, opportunity, and personal responsibility within Korean society. The Webtoon medium's digital-first approach enables storytelling techniques that enhance the narrative's cultural impact, from vertical scrolling that mirrors the tower climbing metaphor to full-color artwork that brings magical concepts to life with visual richness impossible in traditional print formats. These technical capabilities support cultural storytelling that speaks to digital native audiences while maintaining connection to traditional narrative values. The story's integration of individual achievement with collective responsibility reflects Korean cultural values that balance personal advancement with social harmony, family obligations, and community welfare. The protagonist's development involves learning to pursue his own growth while supporting others' advancement, creating role models for readers navigating similar balances in their own lives. The Manhwa's approach to mentorship and teacher-student relationships draws on deep cultural traditions while adapting them to contemporary contexts that acknowledge changing social dynamics and generational perspectives. The protagonist's dual role as student and informal mentor creates opportunities to explore these relationships from multiple angles while respecting traditional values and modern needs. The story's treatment of social class and inherited privilege through magical bloodlines, family backgrounds, and institutional connections provides commentary on contemporary Korean society's ongoing negotiations between traditional hierarchies and merit-based advancement. The protagonist's hidden background creates opportunities to explore these dynamics without simple condemnation or endorsement of existing systems. The international popularity of Korean webtoons has created cultural export opportunities that extend the story's influence beyond domestic audiences to global readers who find universal themes within culturally specific contexts. This cross-cultural appeal demonstrates the medium's potential for cultural diplomacy and international understanding through shared storytelling experiences. The story's integration of gaming culture elements, from progression mechanics to collaborative guild structures, reflects the significant role of gaming within Korean popular culture, while adapting these elements to educational and personal development contexts that broaden their appeal and application. This integration helps bridge entertainment and educational content in ways that engage readers across different interests and demographics. The manhwa's treatment of work-life balance, stress management, and mental health through the protagonist's approach to magical education and social relationships provides cultural commentary on contemporary concerns, while offering positive examples of healthy coping strategies and support system development. These themes resonate particularly strongly with readers experiencing similar pressures in academic or professional contexts. The story's exploration of tradition versus innovation through magical theory, institutional practices, and social relationships reflects broader cultural negotiations within Korean society as it balances respect for traditional values with adaptation to rapidly changing global circumstances. The protagonist's perspective helps model approaches to this balance that honor the past while embracing necessary change. The cultural significance of the reincarnation theme within East Asian storytelling traditions provides rich background context while allowing contemporary reinterpretation that speaks to modern concerns about second chances, personal transformation, and the relationship between past experience and future potential. This cultural continuity helps ground fantastical elements in familiar philosophical and spiritual frameworks. 8. Comparison with similar works. When examining humanity's Strongest Mage Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, within the broader landscape of reincarnation fantasy and academy-based manhwa, several key comparisons emerge that highlight both the genre's established conventions and this particular work's unique contributions to the ongoing evolution of these storytelling approaches. Understanding these relationships helps appreciate both the story's adherence to successful formulas and its innovative departures from established patterns. The most obvious comparison lies with other strongest reincarnation narratives, where protagonists who achieved ultimate power in previous lives find themselves starting over with retained knowledge and experience. However, while many such stories focus primarily on rapid power progression and the satisfaction of overwhelming former challenges with ease, this work emphasizes the educational and relationship-building aspects that create meaningful character development beyond simple power fantasy fulfillment. Academy-based fantasy narratives provide another major comparison category, from Korean works like The Beginning After the End to international properties like Harry Potter or The Irregular at Magic High School. The Tower Academy's vertical structure and advancement system creates unique storytelling opportunities that distinguish it from more traditional campus-based magical schools while maintaining the social dynamics and educational frameworks that make academy settings appealing to readers. The tower climbing subgenre, popularized by works like Tower of God and Solo Leveling, provides mechanical and thematic elements that this story adapts to educational contexts rather than pure survival or combat scenarios. This adaptation creates opportunities for collaborative advancement and knowledge sharing that contrast with the typically individualistic focus of tower climbing narratives while maintaining the clear progression markers and escalating challenges that make such stories compelling. Compared to purely overpowered protagonist narratives where main characters quickly surpass all challenges and opposition, this story maintains dramatic tension through the protagonist's need to conceal his abilities and work within institutional frameworks that cannot be simply overwhelmed through individual power. This creates ongoing narrative challenges that sustain reader interest beyond the initial satisfaction of seeing the protagonist excel. The work's approach to romance and relationship development shows sophistication compared to harem-style narratives or stories where romantic elements serve purely as rewards for protagonist advancement. Character relationships develop through mutual growth, shared challenges, and genuine compatibility rather than being predetermined by power dynamics or narrative convenience, creating more satisfying emotional investment for readers. When compared to stories that focus heavily on political intrigue and institutional corruption within academy settings, this narrative maintains optimism about educational institutions while acknowledging their limitations and potential for improvement. This balanced approach avoids both naive idealism and cynical dismissal of institutional value, creating more nuanced commentary on educational systems and their role in personal and social development. The magical system's complexity and internal consistency compare favorably with works known for detailed world building while remaining accessible to readers who prefer character-focused narratives over extensive technical exposition. This balance serves broader audience appeal while maintaining sufficient depth to support complex plot development and character growth scenarios. The story's pacing and structure show careful attention to maintaining reader engagement through regular advancement and achievement, while avoiding the rushed progression that can undermine character development in favor of spectacle. This measured approach creates more sustainable narrative development that can support longer-term storytelling objectives and character arc completion, compared to works that rely heavily on dramatic revelation scenes and plot twists for engagement. This narrative builds tension through gradual character development and relationship building that creates investment in outcomes beyond simple curiosity about plot developments. This approach tends to create more lasting reader attachment and satisfaction with narrative resolution. The integration of philosophical themes with action and adventure elements compares well with more thoughtful entries in the genre, while avoiding the excessive exposition or abstract discussion that can alienate readers seeking entertainment alongside meaningful content. This balance helps the work appeal to both casual readers and those seeking more substantial thematic exploration. The work's treatment of power and responsibility shows maturity compared to narratives that focus primarily on the acquisition and demonstration of abilities without exploring their implications for relationships, society, and personal identity. This thematic depth enriches the reading experience while providing role models for readers considering their own relationship with ability, achievement, and social responsibility. 9. Character relationships and dynamics. The intricate web of character relationships within humanity's Strongest Mage, Reborns, as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, serves as the emotional backbone of the narrative, creating investment and meaning that extends far beyond individual character arcs or plot developments. These relationships evolve through shared experiences, mutual support during challenges, and the gradual revelation of personal histories and motivations that deepen understanding and emotional connection between characters and readers alike. The protagonist's relationship dynamics are complicated by his unique position as someone possessing vast experience and knowledge while occupying the social role of a beginning student. This creates opportunities for mentorship that must be expressed subtly, leadership that cannot be assumed directly, and emotional connections that must develop authentically, despite his unusual perspective on typical student concerns and challenges. His relationships with fellow students vary based on their personalities, backgrounds, and approaches to magical education, creating a diverse social environment that showcases different aspects of his character while providing opportunities for growth and learning from multiple perspectives. These relationships range from close friendships built on mutual respect and shared values to competitive rivalries that push both parties toward excellence through constructive challenge. The romantic relationships within the narrative develop through genuine compatibility, shared goals, and mutual support rather than being predetermined by power dynamics or narrative convenience. The protagonist's mature emotional perspective, informed by his previous life's experiences, allows for more sophisticated relationship development that acknowledges both partners' autonomy and individual growth needs while building meaningful emotional connections. Faculty-student relationships provide opportunities for intellectual growth, professional development, and personal mentorship that extend beyond simple instruction to encompass life guidance and philosophical discussion. The protagonist's interactions with instructors create opportunities for mutual learning, as his unique perspectives and questions challenge faculty members to reconsider established approaches, while he benefits from their expertise and institutional knowledge. Peer relationships within study groups, project teams, and informal social circles create the collaborative environment essential to effective education while providing emotional support during difficult periods and celebration during achievements. These relationships demonstrate the value of community and mutual aid in pursuing individual goals while maintaining personal identity and autonomy. The protagonist's relationships with authority figures, from academy administrators to external magical society representatives, test his ability to navigate institutional hierarchies while maintaining his principles and protecting those under his informal care. These interactions require diplomatic skills and strategic thinking that showcase his maturity, while creating opportunities for institutional improvement and policy influence. Antagonistic relationships, whether with rival students, corrupt officials, or external threats, create conflict that tests character values, relationship loyalties, and problem-solving abilities under pressure. These conflicts often strengthen positive relationships through shared adversity, while revealing character depths that might not emerge under normal circumstances. The evolution of relationships throughout the series reflects realistic psychological development, with initial impressions giving way to deeper understanding, conflicts resolving through communication and compromise, and bonds strengthening through shared experiences and mutual support. This development maintains reader interest while providing models for healthy relationship building and maintenance. Group dynamics within the academy community reflect the complex social structures found in real educational institutions, with informal leadership, social hierarchies, and collaborative networks that influence individual success and collective achievement. The protagonist's influence on these dynamics demonstrates leadership skills while respecting others' contributions and maintaining group cohesion. The relationships serve multiple narrative functions beyond character development, driving plot advancement through collaborative problem-solving, providing emotional stakes for conflict resolution, and creating networks of support and information that enable complex storytelling scenarios. These functional aspects remain subordinate to authentic emotional development that maintains reader investment in character outcomes. Long-term relationship development extends beyond the academy setting to encompass lifelong bonds, professional partnerships, and continuing mutual support that reflect the lasting impact of formative educational experiences on personal and professional development. These extended relationships provide context for character growth while suggesting future possibilities that reward reader investment in character development. 10th. Power scaling and progression systems. The power scaling and progression systems within humanity's Strongest Mage Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy create a sophisticated framework that balances clear advancement markers with meaningful character development, ensuring that growth in magical ability corresponds to emotional and psychological maturation while maintaining narrative tension and reader engagement throughout the protagonist's journey. From concealed beginner to acknowledged master, the fundamental challenge of the progression system lies in maintaining dramatic tension when the protagonist possesses ultimate knowledge and experience from his previous life, while starting from a position of physical and social limitation in his current existence. This requires careful calibration of ability restoration rates, situational constraints, and social expectations that prevent the narrative from devolving into simple power demonstration scenarios. The Academy's formal evaluation and advancement systems provide external structure for progression measurement, while creating opportunities for the protagonist to demonstrate growth in ways that appear natural to observers, while actually reflecting his careful management of revelation timing and ability display. These formal systems also enable comparison with peer advancement rates and institutional expectations. Magical power scaling typically operates on multiple interconnected dimensions, including raw energy capacity, technical skill proficiency, theoretical knowledge depth, practical application creativity, and collaborative ability effectiveness. This multi-dimensional approach prevents simple linear progression while enabling different characters to excel in different areas based on their natural talents and educational focus. The protagonist's progression involves not just recovering his former abilities, but integrating them with new perspectives gained through his current educational experience and social relationships. This integration process creates opportunities for innovation and improvement beyond his previous peak performance, while maintaining respect for the knowledge and wisdom gained through his academy experience. Physical conditioning and magical capacity development require consistent effort and cannot be rushed through knowledge alone, creating natural pacing constraints that maintain narrative tension while providing opportunities for training montages, collaborative exercise scenarios, and gradual ability demonstration that builds toward larger revelations and applications. Skill specialization within the magical curriculum allows for focused development that showcases the protagonist's particular strengths while creating opportunities for peer learning and collaboration in areas where others possess possess natural advantages or specialized interest. This specialization prevents the protagonist from appearing universally superior while maintaining his overall exceptional nature. Combat power scaling must balance the protagonist's vast tactical experience and theoretical knowledge with his current physical limitations and the need to maintain appropriate responses to academy-level challenges without revealing his true capabilities. This creates opportunities for creative problem-solving and innovative technique application that impresses observers without raising excessive suspicion. Collaborative magic systems enable power scaling through teamwork and group coordination that allows the protagonist to contribute exceptional strategic thinking and coordination abilities while enabling teammates to provide raw power or specialized skills that create combined effects exceeding individual capabilities. These systems emphasize mutual dependence and collective achievement. The progression system includes deliberate plateaus and challenge periods that require more than simple power application to overcome, forcing character development through problem-solving, relationship building, and creative thinking that prevents the narrative from becoming a simple advancement checklist while maintaining realistic obstacles and growth requirements. Advanced progression involves understanding the responsibilities and social implications of increased power, requiring emotional and ethical development that matches magical advancement while preparing for leadership roles and societal contribution that extend beyond personal achievement to community service and collective welfare. The scaling system maintains long-term viability by establishing clear distinctions between academy-level training, professional application, advanced research, and ultimate mastery that provide ongoing goals and challenges beyond graduation while suggesting the broader context within which academy education serves as foundation rather than culmination of magical development. 11th, educational themes in academy life. The educational themes woven throughout humanity's Strongest Mage Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy reflect deep understanding of learning processes, institutional dynamics, and personal development that extends far beyond simple magical instruction to encompass life skills, relationship building, and intellectual growth that prepares students for meaningful contribution to society while honoring individual interests and natural talents. The Tower Academy's pedagogical approach balances structured curriculum requirements with opportunities for independent exploration and specialized development, recognizing that effective education must accommodate different learning styles, varying natural abilities, and diverse career interests while maintaining common standards and shared knowledge foundations that enable collaboration and communication across specializations. Theoretical education provides the intellectual framework necessary for understanding magical principles, historical precedents, ethical considerations, and innovative applications that inform practical skill development while encouraging critical thinking and creative problem-solving that extends beyond rote memorization or simple technique replication to genuine understanding and adaptive capability. Practical skill development through laboratory work, collaborative projects, and supervised practice sessions creates opportunities for hands-on learning that reinforces theoretical knowledge while developing confidence, technique precision, and safety awareness essential for advanced magical practice. These practical components also enable peer learning and mutual support that strengthen community bonds. The assessment and evaluation systems employed throughout the academy measure not only technical proficiency, but also theoretical understanding, creative application, collaborative ability, and ethical reasoning that reflect comprehensive educational objectives extending beyond simple skill certification to character development and social responsibility preparation. Study group dynamics and peer collaboration demonstrate the educational value of mutual support, shared knowledge, and collective problem-solving that often produces better outcomes than individual effort alone, while building relationships and communication skills essential for professional success and personal satisfaction throughout life beyond academy walls. Faculty mentorship extends beyond classroom instruction to encompass personal guidance, career counseling, and individual development support that recognizes each student's unique potential while providing encouragement during difficult periods and appropriate challenges during advancement phases. These relationships model lifelong learning and professional development approaches The integration of research opportunities within advanced coursework enables students to contribute original knowledge to magical understanding while developing investigation skills, analytical thinking, and scholarly communication abilities that prepare for continued learning and innovation throughout their careers, regardless of specific professional paths chosen. Extracurricular activities, competitive events, and social organizations provide opportunities for leadership development, interest exploration, and relationship building that complement formal academic instruction while enabling students to discover hidden talents, develop confidence, and build networks that support both personal and professional development. The Academy's approach to failure, setbacks, and learning difficulties emphasizes growth mindset principles that treat challenges as opportunities for improvement rather than evidence of inadequacy, while providing support resources and alternative approaches that help struggling students find success paths that match their individual needs and learning styles. Cross-disciplinary education encourages students to explore connections between different magical specializations and to develop broad knowledge bases that inform specialized practice, while enabling communication and collaboration with practitioners from other fields. This breadth prevents narrow thinking while supporting innovative applications and creative problem-solving. The preparation for post-graduation responsibilities includes career exploration, professional skill development, and social awareness that helps students understand their future roles within magical society while enabling informed decision-making about specialization choices and career paths that align with personal interests and societal needs. 12th, political intrigue and societal structures. The political landscape surrounding the Tower Academy and the broader magical society creates complex undercurrents that influence character development and plot advancement while exploring themes of power, responsibility, institutional change, and social justice that extend far beyond simple academic achievement to encompass the protagonist's eventual role in shaping societal development and addressing systemic challenges within the magical community. The Academy's position within the broader political structure requires careful navigation of relationships with government authorities, magical guilds, noble families, and international organizations that may have competing interests regarding student education, research priorities, and institutional autonomy. These relationships create opportunities for political education and diplomatic skill development, while establishing stakes that extend beyond individual advancement. Internal Academy politics involve faculty governance, student representation, resource allocation, and policy development that provide opportunities for the protagonist to exercise leadership skills and influence institutional improvement while learning to work within established systems and build coalitions around shared objectives that benefit the entire Academy community. The Magical Society's class structure, based on bloodline heritage, educational achievement, professional success, and political influence, creates social dynamics that the protagonist must navigate while maintaining his principles and supporting merit-based advancement for deserving individuals regardless of their background or inherited advantages. Corruption within magical institutions, whether involving admissions processes, grading standards, resource distribution, or external influence, creates moral challenges that test character values while providing opportunities for positive change through careful investigation, coalition building, and strategic action that addresses problems without destroying beneficial institutional aspects. International relations between different magical communities, nations, or societies provide context for domestic policies while creating opportunities for cultural exchange, collaborative research, and conflict resolution that demonstrate the global implications of magical education and the responsibilities that accompany advanced magical knowledge and ability. Economic systems within magical society, including funding mechanisms for education, compensation structures for different professions, and resource distribution approaches, influence individual opportunities while creating policy questions that the protagonist's mature perspective helps address through innovative solutions that balance efficiency with equity and individual achievement with collective welfare. Legal frameworks governing magical practice, educational standards, professional certification, and ethical enforcement create structure for society, while occasionally requiring reform or reinterpretation that benefits from the protagonist's experience with different systems and approaches developed through his previous life's exposure to various challenges and solutions. Generational conflicts between established authorities and emerging leaders reflect natural tensions within evolving societies, while providing opportunities for the protagonist to serve as a bridge between different perspectives through his unique combination of accumulated wisdom and current student status that enables understanding and communication across generational divides. Revolutionary undercurrents or reform movements within magical society create opportunities for meaningful social change while testing the protagonist's commitment to gradual improvement versus radical transformation, requiring careful consideration of methods, timing, and consequences that affect not only immediate participants but also future generations and institutional stability. The influence of external threats or challenges on internal politics creates urgency around institutional reform and social unity, while providing opportunities for leadership development and collective action that transcends normal political divisions in favor of shared survival and prosperity objectives that benefit entire magical communities. Information networks, communication systems, and knowledge-sharing mechanisms within political structures influence decision-making processes while creating opportunities for the protagonist to contribute valuable insights and intelligence that inform policy development and strategic planning based on his unique perspective and accumulated experience from his previous life's challenges and achievements. 13th, art style and visual storytelling. The visual presentation of humanity's strongest mage Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy employs sophisticated artistic techniques that enhance narrative impact while taking full advantage of the Webtoon format's unique capabilities for digital storytelling. The art style serves not merely as illustration, but as integral narrative component that conveys character emotions, magical phenomena, social dynamics, and thematic elements through visual metaphors and artistic choices that complement and enhance textual storytelling. The character design approach balances distinctive individual appearance with archetypal recognition that allows readers to quickly understand personality traits, social positions, and narrative roles while maintaining sufficient uniqueness to prevent confusion and support emotional investment in specific characters. The protagonist's design typically reflects both his current student status and hints of his previous life's gravitas through subtle visual cues. The Tower Academy's architectural visualization creates vertical grandeur that emphasizes the upward progression theme while incorporating practical details that make the educational environment feel realistic and functional. The tower's interior spaces balance magical, fantastical elements with recognizable educational facility features that help readers connect with the academic setting despite its supernatural context. Magical effect visualization employs dynamic, artistic techniques that convey power, beauty, and danger through color choices, motion lines, particle effects, and environmental interaction that make magical phenomena feel both wondrous and believable within the story's context, while maintaining visual clarity during complex action sequences or collaborative magical work. The emotional expression and body language portrayed throughout character interactions support dialogue and internal monologue through visual cues that convey subtext, relationship dynamics, and psychological states that might be difficult to express through text alone. This visual emotional communication enhances reader connection with character experiences and relationship development. Panel composition and page layout take advantage of the Webtoon format's vertical scrolling to create reading rhythms that match narrative pacing, while using panel size, shape, and arrangement to control attention, build tension, and emphasize important moments through visual hierarchy and flow that guides reader experience through story beats and emotional climaxes. Color palette choices throughout different scenes and story arcs support mood establishment. thematic reinforcement and visual continuity while distinguishing between different locations, time periods, or emotional states through consistent color associations that enhance reader understanding and emotional response to narrative developments. Background detail and environmental storytelling provide context and atmosphere that enrich the world building while supporting character development through personal space design, institutional architecture, and environmental interaction that reflects personality traits, social status, and relationship dynamics without requiring explicit textual explanation. Action sequence choreography and movement portrayal create dynamic visual experiences that convey magical combat, academic competitions, and collaborative projects through clear action flow, impact emphasis, and spatial relationship maintenance that allows readers to follow complex sequences while appreciating both individual skill and group coordination. Costume and fashion design reflects character personalities, social positions, cultural backgrounds, and narrative development through clothing choices that evolve with character growth while maintaining visual consistency and cultural authenticity within the Magical Academy setting and broader societal context. Symbolic visual elements and metaphorical imagery support thematic development through recurring motifs, architectural symbolism, and natural imagery that reinforce central themes of growth, advancement, community, and personal transformation, while adding layers of meaning that reward careful attention and analysis. The integration of text and visual elements maintains readability while enhancing narrative impact through font choices, speech bubble design, and text placement that supports artistic composition while ensuring clear communication and appropriate emphasis for dialogue, internal thoughts, and narrative exposition that serves both functional and aesthetic purposes. 14. Pacing and narrative structure. The narrative pacing of humanity's strongest mage, Reborns, as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, demonstrates sophisticated understanding of reader engagement through carefully balanced advancement rates, character development phases, and plot revelation timing that maintains interest while allowing sufficient depth for meaningful emotional investment and thematic exploration. The structure accommodates both episodic Academy life incidents and overarching plot development that builds towards significant revelations and character growth milestones. The opening arc establishes fundamental premise elements, character introductions, and world-building foundations at a pace that provides necessary context without overwhelming readers with exposition while creating immediate engagement through the protagonist's unique perspective and the intriguing contrast between his hidden knowledge and current circumstances that generates both dramatic irony and reader anticipation. Early Academy Life episodes balance slice-of-life educational experiences with progression indicators and relationship development that create comfortable reading rhythms while establishing character personalities, social dynamics, and institutional culture through natural interaction rather than forced exposition. These episodes build investment in the Academy community while setting up future plot developments. The revelation pacing carefully manages information disclosure about the protagonist's background, abilities, and objectives while maintaining mystery elements that sustain reader interest without frustrating through excessive withholding. Each revelation provides satisfaction while raising new questions that drive continued engagement and speculation about future developments. Academic calendar integration creates natural pacing rhythms through semester schedules, examination periods, advancement evaluations, and special events that provide regular milestone markers while supporting both character development and plot advancement through structured challenges and opportunities that feel organic to the educational setting. Character relationship development follows realistic psychological pacing that allows for gradual trust building, deepening emotional connections, and evolving dynamics without rushing into advanced intimacy or friendship levels that would feel artificial given the characters' backgrounds and personalities. This pacing supports authentic emotional investment. Action and adventure sequences maintain appropriate intensity and duration without overwhelming the narrative's character-focused elements while providing necessary excitement and tension relief that prevents the story from becoming too introspective or slow-paced for readers seeking entertainment alongside character development and thematic exploration. Subplot integration weaves secondary character stories, institutional developments, and broader world events into the main narrative without creating confusion or pacing disruption, while enriching the overall story experience through multiple perspective elements that provide context and depth beyond the protagonist's immediate experience. Conflict escalation follows gradual intensity increases that allow for appropriate preparation, character development, and stake establishment before major confrontations, while avoiding sudden difficulty spikes that would undermine narrative believability or character agency in resolving challenges through growth and collaborative effort. The balance between academy-focused episodes and external world exploration provides variety while maintaining narrative coherence. Through the protagonist's dual nature as student and experienced individual whose perspective encompasses both immediate educational objectives and broader societal concerns that influence his approach to academy life and relationship building. Seasonal and annual progression creates long-term pacing structure that allows for character maturation, relationship evolution, and skill development that requires extended time investment, while providing clear advancement markers and celebration opportunities that reward reader patience with meaningful character growth and achievement recognition. The integration of contemplative moments with active progression ensures that philosophical themes and emotional development receive adequate exploration without slowing narrative momentum, while providing depth that distinguishes the work from purely action-focused stories and supports reader investment in character outcomes beyond simple plot resolution. 15th, fan reception and cultural impact. The reception of humanity's strongest mage, Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, within the Manhwa community reflects broader trends in reader preferences while demonstrating the work's particular strengths in addressing contemporary concerns through fantastical frameworks that provide both escapism and meaningful commentary on education, achievement, and personal growth. The story's impact extends beyond individual entertainment to influence genre conventions and reader expectations for similar works. Reader engagement with the protagonist's character development demonstrates strong appreciation for nuanced personality portrayal that avoids simple power fantasy fulfillment in favor of complex psychological exploration and relationship-focused growth. Fan discussions frequently focus on character motivation, decision-making processes, and the realistic portrayal of someone managing exceptional abilities while navigating normal social expectations and institutional requirements. The academy setting resonates particularly strongly with readers who have experienced competitive educational environments, creating personal connections through familiar social dynamics, academic pressures, and advancement systems that translate the fantastical elements into relatable emotional experiences. This connection enhances reader investment while supporting the story's educational themes and character development. International reader reception demonstrates the universal appeal of themes like second chances, personal growth, and the balance between individual achievement and community responsibility, while showcasing the manhwa medium's capacity for cross-cultural storytelling that transcends specific cultural contexts through universal human experiences and emotions. Fan community creation around the series includes discussion forums, fan art, character analysis, and theoretical speculation that extends reader engagement beyond passive consumption to active participation in interpretive and creative activities that build community around shared appreciation for the story's characters, themes, and world-building elements. The influence on genre conventions includes elevated expectations for character development depth, relationship authenticity, and thematic sophistication that distinguish quality works from simple wish-fulfillment narratives, while maintaining the entertainment value and progression satisfaction that attract readers to Reincarnation and academy-based fantasy stories. Educational community interest in the series reflects its thoughtful portrayal of learning processes, institutional dynamics, and mentorship relationships that provide positive models for real-world application while avoiding unrealistic idealization of educational systems or oversimplification of complex institutional and social challenges. The series' treatment of power and responsibility themes influences reader expectations for protagonist behavior and character growth that emphasizes ethical development alongside ability advancement, while demonstrating the importance of collaborative relationships and community support in achieving meaningful objectives and personal satisfaction. Critical analysis and academic interest in the work contribute to broader discussions about manhwa as literary medium, cultural expression, and social commentary, while establishing the series' significance beyond entertainment value to encompass educational and cultural contributions that justify serious analytical attention and scholarly consideration. Commercial success and adaptation potential reflect market appreciation for quality storytelling that balances multiple appeal factors while suggesting possibilities for expanded media presence through animation, gaming, or other format adaptations that could extend the story's reach and cultural impact beyond its original manhwa presentation. The influence on aspiring creators includes examples of effective character development techniques, world-building integration, and thematic exploration that provide educational value for individuals learning storytelling craft while demonstrating market viability for thoughtful, character-focused narratives that prioritize depth alongside entertainment value. Long-term cultural impact potential includes contribution to evolving genre standards, international appreciation for Korean storytelling approaches, and positive representation of educational themes and personal development that could influence both entertainment preferences and real-world attitudes toward learning, growth, and community collaboration in educational and professional contexts. 16th, analysis of tropes and conventions. The sophisticated deployment of genre tropes and narrative conventions within humanity's Strongest Mage, Reborns, as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, demonstrates masterful understanding of reader expectations while subverting or enriching familiar elements to create fresh, storytelling experiences that honor genre traditions while advancing beyond simple repetition of established formulas. This approach satisfies readers seeking familiar comfort while providing sufficient innovation to maintain interest and surprise. The overpowered protagonist trope receives thoughtful treatment through the implementation of social and institutional constraints that prevent simple dominance scenarios, while creating opportunities for creative problem-solving and collaborative achievement that maintains dramatic tension despite the protagonist's ultimate capabilities. This constraint-based approach transforms potential narrative weakness into character development opportunity. The reincarnation concept transcends simple wish fulfillment through its integration with themes of responsibility, growth, and relationship building that require more than mere knowledge application to achieve meaningful success. The protagonist must learn to balance his accumulated wisdom with respect for others' autonomy and the value of shared experience and collaborative learning. Academy life tropes, including rivalries, examinations, social hierarchies, and romantic relationships, receive authentic treatment that avoids both cynical subversion and naive idealization, while creating genuine emotional investment through realistic character development and institutional dynamics that reflect real-world educational experiences within fantastical contexts. The hidden identity convention creates ongoing tension through the protagonist's need to conceal his true nature while building genuine relationships and contributing meaningfully to his community. This balance requires constant navigation between authenticity and necessary deception that adds psychological complexity to otherwise straightforward social interactions and academic activities. Mentor-student relationship dynamics avoid simple power transfer scenarios through the implementation of mutual learning opportunities, where even experienced faculty benefit from the protagonist's unique perspectives while providing genuine value through their expertise, institutional knowledge, and different approaches to magical theory and practice. The chosen one implications of the protagonist's exceptional nature receive treatment that emphasizes personal choice, collaborative effort, and earn achievement rather than predetermined destiny or inherited superiority. This approach maintains agency and meaning in character decisions while acknowledging exceptional circumstances and capabilities. Romantic development tropes avoid harem scenarios or conquest-based relationship progression through the implementation of genuine compatibility requirements, mutual growth expectations, and respect for partner autonomy that creates more satisfying emotional development while maintaining appropriate focus on academic and personal growth objectives. Power progression conventions receive sophisticated treatment through multi-dimensional advancement systems that encompass technical skill, theoretical understanding, ethical development, and social capability rather than simple linear strength increases that would undermine character development and narrative tension maintenance. The school tournament and competitive examination tropes provide structure for character showcase opportunities while serving broader narrative functions, including relationship development, skill demonstration, and plot advancement that integrates competitive elements with ongoing character and story development, rather than treating them as isolated spectacle events. Friendship and rivalry dynamics avoid simple categorization through complex character relationships that evolve based on mutual respect, shared challenges, and individual growth, rather than fixed personality types or predetermined social roles. These evolving dynamics create ongoing interest and emotional investment in character interactions and development. The treatment of authority figures and institutional representation balances respect for legitimate expertise and institutional value with acknowledgement of human fallibility and systematic limitations that require ongoing improvement and individual judgment rather than blind acceptance or cynical rejection of established systems and leadership. 17th, psychological depth and character motivation. The psychological complexity underlying character motivations in humanity's Strongest Mage Reborns, as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, elevates the narrative beyond simple adventure or power progression to explore fundamental questions of identity, purpose, relationships, and personal growth that resonate with readers through authentic emotional experiences and realistic psychological development that honors the fantastical premise while maintaining human truth and relatability. The protagonist's psychological journey involves integrating two distinct life experiences into a coherent identity that honors both his accumulated wisdom and his current circumstances while building new relationships and pursuing objectives that may differ significantly from his previous life's priorities and methods. This integration process creates ongoing internal conflict and growth opportunities that drive character development. The burden of exceptional knowledge and ability creates psychological pressures, including isolation, responsibility weight, and decision-making complexity that must be balanced against desires for normal relationships, academic achievement, and social integration. These pressures generate authentic internal conflicts that inform character choices and relationship development throughout the narrative. Survivor's guilt and incomplete mourning from his previous life's losses influence the protagonist's approach to current relationships while creating opportunities for healing through new connections and positive outcomes that honor past sacrifices without being constrained by previous failures or regrets. This healing process adds emotional depth to relationship development. The psychological impact of educational environments on character development includes both positive growth opportunities and stress-induced challenges that reflect real-world academic experiences while exploring how individual psychology interacts with institutional expectations and social pressures to produce both adaptive and maladaptive responses that require ongoing attention and support. Supporting characters possess individual psychological profiles that inform their motivations, relationship approaches, and development arcs through realistic personality traits, background influences, and personal objectives that create authentic interaction dynamics while avoiding simple archetypal reduction that would undermine emotional investment and narrative believability. The psychology of competition and collaboration within academic settings explores how individuals balance personal achievement drives with community welfare concerns while navigating social hierarchies and institutional expectations that may conflict with personal values or relationship priorities. These psychological tensions create ongoing character development opportunities, Mentor-student psychological dynamics involve complex power relationships, knowledge transfer expectations, and mutual influence patterns that affect both parties' development while creating opportunities for growth that extends beyond simple instruction to encompass emotional support, life guidance, and reciprocal learning that benefits all participants. The psychological effects of magical ability development include both empowerment and responsibility concerns that influence character self-concept, relationship approaches, and decision-making processes while creating internal conflicts between personal desires and social obligations that require ongoing navigation and resolution through character growth and wisdom development. Trauma processing and healing from both previous life experiences and current challenges create psychological development arcs that demonstrate resilience building, support system utilization, and adaptive coping strategy development while acknowledging the ongoing nature of psychological health maintenance and the importance of community support in recovery processes. The Psychology of Leadership and Influence explores how the protagonist's natural leadership tendencies must be balanced with respect for others' autonomy and institutional authority while creating positive change through inspiration, collaboration, and example rather than domination or manipulation that would undermine relationship authenticity and community welfare. Identity formation and self-concept development in adolescence receive realistic treatment despite fantastical circumstances through exploration of how individuals integrate various aspects of personality, ability, background, and aspiration into coherent self-understanding that supports healthy relationship formation and effective decision-making throughout ongoing life challenges and opportunities. The psychological aspects of ethical development and moral reasoning demonstrate how character values form through experience, education, relationship influence, and personal reflection while creating internal guidance systems that inform difficult decisions and maintain behavioral consistency despite changing circumstances and evolving social pressures. 18th World Mythology and Lore. The mythological foundation and accumulated lore within humanity's Strongest Mage, Reborns as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, create rich contextual background that supports both immediate narrative development and long-term world-building expansion while providing cultural depth and historical perspective that enhance reader investment in the story's events and character development through connection to larger patterns of meaning and significance. The ancient history of magical development within the world provides context for current institutional practices, theoretical frameworks, and social structures while establishing precedents for the protagonist's exceptional abilities and suggesting possible explanations for his reincarnation circumstances that may become relevant to future plot developments and character revelations. Founding legends surrounding the Tower Academy establishment create institutional identity and cultural significance that influence current policies, traditions, and expectations, while providing inspirational examples and cautionary tales that inform character development and decision-making processes throughout the academic experience and beyond graduation. The mythology surrounding magical power sources, whether they derive from natural forces, divine intervention, ancestral heritage, or personal cultivation, establishes the theoretical framework within which magical education operates while providing philosophical context for ethical considerations and practical applications that inform character growth and societal development. Historical conflicts and their resolution create cultural memory that influences current social attitudes, political structures, and international relations, while providing examples of both successful cooperation and destructive conflict that inform contemporary decision-making and policy development within magical institutions and broader society. Legendary figures from the past serve as inspirational models, cautionary examples, and mysterious influences that may still affect current events while providing context for the protagonist's exceptional nature and suggesting possible connections between his previous life's achievements and historical patterns of heroism, sacrifice, and transformation. The cosmological framework encompassing magical reality, whether involving multiple worlds, dimensional relationships, spiritual realms, or Temporal mechanics provides context for reincarnation possibilities while establishing the broader universe within which the story's events occur and suggesting potential expansion opportunities for future narrative development. Cultural traditions and social customs derived from mythological foundations create authentic community identity while providing structure for celebrations, ceremonies, and institutional practices that enhance world-building authenticity and create opportunities for character development through participation in culturally significant events and activities. Prophetic traditions and oracular elements within the world's lore create potential plot devices while establishing cultural approaches to fate, destiny, and personal agency that influence character psychology and decision-making processes while maintaining appropriate balance between predetermined elements and individual choice and responsibility. The relationship between mortal magical practitioners and potentially divine or transcendent forces establishes spiritual dimensions within the world that provide context for the protagonist's exceptional nature while creating opportunities for philosophical exploration and character development that extends beyond purely material concerns and objectives. Lost knowledge and forgotten technologies from earlier civilizations create mystery elements while providing potential sources for innovative magical applications and institutional improvements that the protagonist's accumulated experience might help rediscover or reinterpret for contemporary benefit and societal advancement. The mythological basis for magical creature relationships, whether involving familiar bonds, summoning contracts, or ecological partnerships, creates additional layers of world complexity while providing opportunities for character development through non-human relationships that offer different perspectives on magical practice and community responsibility. 19th, romance and relationship elements. The romantic and relationship elements within humanity's strongest mage, Reborns, as the Tower Academy's Prodigy, demonstrate sophisticated understanding of emotional development and interpersonal dynamics that create meaningful connections without overwhelming the narrative's educational and personal growth themes, while providing authentic relationship models that reflect healthy communication, mutual respect, and individual autonomy within romantic partnerships. The protagonist's approach to romantic relationships must navigate the complexity of his dual nature as someone with extensive life experience, occupying the social position of a student, creating unique challenges in forming authentic connections that honor both his accumulated wisdom and his partner's autonomy, while avoiding paternalistic attitudes or emotional manipulation based on knowledge disparities. Romantic development occurs gradually through shared experiences, intellectual compatibility, mutual support during challenges, and genuine personal connection rather than being driven primarily by physical attraction or social convenience. This authentic development creates more satisfying emotional investment while demonstrating healthy relationship formation principles that extend beyond the fictional context. The female characters involved in romantic elements possess individual agency, personal objectives, and character development arcs that remain independent of romantic outcomes, while contributing meaningfully to their partner's growth and the broader narrative development. These characters avoid simple reward or trophy status while maintaining romantic appeal and emotional authenticity. Relationship conflicts and resolution demonstrate healthy communication patterns, compromise skills, and mutual problem-solving approaches that model effective relationship maintenance while creating dramatic tension that serves narrative development without relying on manufactured misunderstandings or communication failures that would undermine character intelligence and emotional maturity. The balance between romantic development and academic responsibilities reflects realistic priority management while demonstrating how healthy relationships support individual growth and achievement, rather than detracting from personal objectives or creating unnecessary conflict between romantic and educational or professional commitments.